Greetings everyone! Today's video is going to be a little different than usual, as this is actually going to be 2 reviews in one, because one of the products was fake. And so, be prepared to not be confused when you realize that it looks like the same, but it's not, and there are 2 reviews in one. It's going to start off in one review, and then it's going to transform into another review, so just stick around and be patient. Thank you. Sorry to hold you back. All right, goodbye.
Hello, and welcome to something completely different here on Toys Equals Midlife Crisis Squared. Ha! You thought I was going to do something silly, but I didn't. All right, so anyway, so I was traveling the internets, and there was like a sale thing going on, and this thing popped up in my feed saying it was pretty cheap. It's like, what, right at $30, and normally these things are like over $100. So I thought it was a reasonable deal, and I went ahead and ordered it. Thought it was a little cheap, and just began to wonder, it was taking a long time to ship, and by the time it got here, oh my God. So this is Figma Art's Sophia F. Shirring, whatever that even means. And so it's an anime style character, but this box came in totally beat to crap. Just warped, bent, damaged, nearly ripped. I normally would probably complain about that, but I guess for the price. But basically what they did when they shipped it is they literally took a trash bag. No, I'm not kidding. Trash bag. Cut it into a square and taped it so that you couldn't see what it was. And they shipped it like that. Like this. Not in a box. Just wrapped the trash bag around this. So, of course, it was beat to shit in the mail system. Kind of unprecedented insanity. So, thank God I'm not an inbox collector, because otherwise I'll be pissed. Super duper pissed. So, anyway, this is kind of for my anime fans out there. I want to see what this is all about. So let's take her out of her damaged box. It's been damaged. Help me. Okay, well, yeah, it's out of the box, and I feel terribly ripped off. Maybe I now understand why it was so cheap. In fact, all right, so wait a second here. I'm gonna show you a box. Maybe there's some people out there who collect Figma. Can you tell me if there's anything on this box? Oh, there's this big rip through it because that's how I was able to get it torn out. Is there anything on this box that you can tell that would lead you to believe this is a knockoff? Like, is this really Figma? Or did I just get some kind of weird knockoff release? Because it was packaged really poorly in a way, and as you could see, she's got some head trauma because her head came off thing when I was trying to take it off. Now, when I took her out of the package, I'm going to show you something. All right, that does work. Okay, so in her headpiece area right here, there was this piece of plastic which I had to take out. It's kind of a clear blue plastic, and I thought, well, okay, maybe it was just some kind of protection, to protect that port. But then I realized that her primary little thingamabopper, this peg, is too short, so it basically doesn't really want to fit in here. It just falls right out. I don't know if it's because of the head or what, but it's damn near useless. So it fits in, but as soon as you could set it in there, but it does not fit. It just falls out. I mean, it's useless. I mean, absolutely useless. And these shoulders, these shoulders are so weirdly broad, like this gap area, that the promo pictures make it so that this this shoulder should be able to come up and display correctly, but it really doesn't. It's just highly uncomfortable. And even though these fins all kind of move independently, they feel fragile, like they're going to break. And this tube is supposed to fit, in her back. But of course, if you were to do that, it's not flexible. As soon as you fit that in, I mean, you can't move her torso like anymore. So this is literally probably one of the worst. And she's supposed to have all this articulation, but like she can't do the splits because her hips get in the way, which is just weird. It looks like it should have articulation, but you can at least kick straight. You can do stuff with the knees. It's got some foot swivel. You'd think you'd be able to turn it, but it really doesn't. Well, the leg apparently comes off. It looks like it has a boot cut, right? You seeing that? But it does turn, but it's kind of locked in there, and I don't know what you're supposed to do with this thing. Oh, this was a bad investment, yo. I liked the milk tea girl, but this right here is for the birds. And I suppose if you like big boobs, that's fine. Doesn't look horrid. This thing gets in the way of her boutiques, but it looks also pretty good too. I mean, as far as the design goes, it's very interesting and kind of cool. But the only thing I can fit is this other head. This is the only one that will actually fit, that has a peg long enough. And it will sit, but it's not the look I wanted. And I bet you anything, if I give it a good tap, yep, to the floor, yay. So let's get into her rotten accessories. So you saw that one little head thing. Also comes with this other one where the ears can actually move back and forth, but it's very fragile. You have to be very careful. They'll break, of course, because everything on there is fragile. It has this, it looks like a kind of a cool surfboard kind of a thing. Lots of great detail. It's actually kind of hefty, has some see-through parts. Sharp, but it also doubles as a shield that falls apart, apparently. She can actually hold this as a shield or ride it as a surfboard. So I mean, it's cool. I can't knock it for that. I mean, it is interesting, kind of cool in a way. She comes with, other than her current face that she has here, this kind of placid face, she comes with 3 other faces. She comes with a jovial, happy face. She comes with a not so happy and distressed face. And she comes with a sinisterly stern face. I will rip your eyebrows out. She comes with like a pistol thing, spray bucket that has a paint app error on it. Good times, happy times. Thanks a bunch. No port for blast effects. So I bet you that thing even does not come out. Now this is bizarre. So you get this cool lance spear thing, and it's sort of like Lady J in that, it comes with the same kind of weapon, like kind of a launcher. I guess you should be able to put this in. It doesn't really fit all that well, but it's supposed to fit in and be this super long speary thing. But this is very rubbery plastic, and this is exceedingly fragile hard plastic, like Like you can snap it easily. This is flexible and bendy. Help me out here. That's just weird. And then I have no idea what these do. They're like these little, if I can get them in camera, just little bars that peg in somewhere. Maybe on her, maybe on the surfboard. I haven't really looked at the destructions yet. And then she comes with this, I don't know thing. This blue thing that also pegs in somewhere. Don't know where. And she comes with a plethora of hands. Like lots of hands. Some of them very poorly painted. And I'll show you in just a second. Oh my God, there's so much fail. I don't even know where to begin. So I tried messing around with it. It's so tedious and difficult. I couldn't even get... so I have the other head with some glue, some crazy glue going on to see if I can extend with, crazy glue, if I can extend that peg out to see if it'll actually fit. So I'm kind of sort of working on that. I still haven't figured out what these things do. I haven't figured that out yet, but whatever. But it gets worse. So that blue thing is supposed to fit on her foot because that's how you peg in if you're going to try to stand on the surfboard. But it doesn't really work, because its peg hole is too small for these holes, and so it just falls off. She doesn't peg in. Hey, good news, I got this to work. I'll probably use it for some other character, I don't know. It's interesting. But here's the one. Okay, so, all right, I did manage to get these here, but I don't know if that's really what this is for, since not all the hands fit. And the pegs are actually larger than the hole, so I kind of had to force it, which probably wasn't a smart idea. But the worst, most egregious piece of... more technical difficulties on top of this other bull crap. So anyway, as if I was going to say, I don't know what I'm going to edit or have to repeat. But the most egregious problem is with this. All right, so I keep having technical difficulties. I'm going to repeat this again. So the most egregious problem is with this rig. I don't know what you want to call it. This, whatever this is stupid. So the only way you could possibly plug into the character is with this little peg, right? Because it doesn't come with any kind of clamp or grip. Well, that hole is not going to fit on this back, on her back. It's not going to fit that hole. It is like twice the size. It is a no-fitty, not even close, not even remotely. It's just... it's useless. It's so useless. This whole thing is useless. I am so sorry to all you who collect these fig arts. And I know you're probably all saying, dude, you're manhandling her. You're too aggressive. It's for delicate, precise precision. Okay, fine. It's for delicate, precise precision. But it's no good if the manufacturers weren't precise with their stuff. I mean, I should not have to go in and drill holes and do all the stuff and use glue just to get things to work. It should just be ready to go, like half a dozen of the other things I've purchased that were of this style. They were so much better. So I'm going to go ahead and end my review saying this is a great big ball of suck, and it's a big ball of no me gusta for me. And I wish I never bought it. Wish I can get my money back, but oh well. So what I will now do is I'll try to cobble something with her so that I can at least compare to the other ones like her, so you can kind of see why this is fail. But I shall return. Future me will return after these messages. Oh, okay. So I did figure something out. Remember that piece I found embedded in her head that I had to take out after this piece had just fallen as soon as I took it out of the package? Well, it was supposed to be attached to that peg. That's why it wasn't long enough, because that piece broke off inside the package. I mean, just... You see, fellas, it's messed up. So I have it glued. It's going to dry, and we'll see if it fits and works out later. But I at least figured out what the problem was. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled program. All right, so here we have the comparison to Snail Shell's Milk Tea Pulba Girl and Link Pulse's Seancera Cerebus. So they're two very similar in some respects. Obviously not really to the Cerebus because it's a seamless body, but if we look at like the shoulder joints here, they're bare and everything, just like hers, but because it doesn't have this overarching trapezoid there, or deltoid. Oh my God, I've lost my whole idea of anatomy, so my apologies there, folks. There's just too much of a gap. But here there's not as much of a gap. So you can kind of suspend belief, so to speak, right? But it's the same sort of, other than that, it's the same kind of structure between the two. So they really do kind of match up. It's just unfortunate that she's built so terribly in comparison. The other ones are just masterful besides her. So anyway, that's really the best comparison I can give right now. She's very frustrating. Clearly, it's I think really the market for this character is going to be something akin to a more or less posable statuette. You're meant to put her in whatever kind of pose you want and then leave it the F alone and never touch it again, if not having to glue the pieces in place like I more or less had to. I'm almost scared to take that head thing off. I did manage to squeeze it in there, but I just don't trust that it'll come back off without breaking again. So, yeah, money well spent. Yay me. Yay. Anyway, I'm going to try to do some photos, but you're going to have to forgive me if they don't come out badass or anything, because this figure going to be just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, well, welcome back. Now, this is an interesting part of this video. So, I was very disappointed with this product, and it made me very angry. And when I went to research about it, because maybe I thought it was just me being overly sensitive, and maybe it was a better figure because everyone says Figma arts are really great. But that wasn't the experience I was having. And I thought something must be wrong because the quality just was terrible. And lo and behold, I got a fake, a knockoff. And I didn't even realize. I should have known because it was on Amazon and it was fairly cheap. But pretty damn convincing, if I may be so bold. So I imported this one from Japan. And when you do, you get this nifty little thing too. I think it's a stand. But ultimately, I want to show you real quick, if I can, the differences of the box. Now, the box of the knockoff is pretty busted up, mostly because it came busted up. So, all right, we're going to see if this can actually show up and work here. Might have to edit some of this out. Too many boxes in here. I'm trying to get as much light as I can. Anyway, as you could see, they pretty much got it spot on in terms of graphics, right? Got the bunny. The design is almost identical. It's the same box, but different yellow color. And one of the other things, I don't know if you could see it, but you have, in Japanese, the writing down below, and product number, and whatever this Max Factory bunny, whatever, suit planning, and all this information is missing over here. All they put was just Figma and 530 and the name of the character. Even if you were to, even to the side, it's pretty convincing. It looks pretty much the same. What can you do? The back, if I mixed it up, could you see the difference? Spot the differences. I mean, that's basically the game you would have to play. Spot the difference. Clearly, you have by far more legal mumbo jumbo here than you do here, right? I mean, there's almost as next to nothing compared to here. So you do get a lot of that. I was looking for maybe a holographic sticker, something that would indicate, original, but I never found it. And again, here, the only real difference here are the writings at the bottom, and that's really it. And the color, a little bit of color differences in like tone. Weirdly, that the knockoff has a sharper image than the original. It's really bizarre. But that's really it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the official one out of the box, review it, and then we're going to compare to the knockoff and see just how different, because there are things that are structurally different, but it's still extremely convincing. But we'll get to that. All right? Okay. All right. Well, now she's on out of the box, and woo, I can already tell the quality is much better. The joints are not wibbly wobbly wambly. It's very tight, far better structure, better detail. Better paint applications and smoother applications of some of the features. We'll get into that. But man, the stuff you get, like that thing that they sent in that little black bag, was this. It's like some special stand. Certainly didn't get that from the cheap piece of crap. But it came with pretty much the same kind of stuff, like the same kind of accessories, but better, I guess you could say. Like the hands, they already came pre-set up in this little thing. And it turns out that that weird paint app issue that I was looking at on the hand is on purpose, but done much better, I guess, is the way to put it. It's like it's supposed to be brown, but the other one did such a piss poor job. Like this looks like white plastic instead of painted white. Does that make sense? And they look just much better. And then you get bonus hands that came, separately wrapped, which was cool. But other than that, they also came with a spare joint, very important. And something else that I thought was very cool, they came with their own Ziploc bag to put all the extra stuff in. That you're not used to that. That's pretty cool. And some of the things like for this gun, for example, the water bottle thingy is, you know what, we're going to manual computer, yay. Let's see if I can get it. All right. Yeah. So you get this water bottle with the pistol, right? And you can actually take the pistol part off as well and install other bits to it, maybe even blast effects, who knows. But the point being is that you did not have this option on the other one. It's a solid piece. You can't remove any of it. And the same is true for this. It's got all bits and pieces that can be, removed and reassembled and stuff like that. The other one, no. You could take it apart. The other one you can't. And I was like, but let's do some of these details. I'm gonna go get the other figure so that we can compare the two. Okay, we back. We're gonna look at the craptastic in comparison. Take this idiotic thing out of her hand. So this is the knockoff. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, lighting is just a premium. I can't seem to get it together. Overall, it is convincing when you put it up against the actual one. I mean, it's pretty convincing. It's a different white. It's more of a warm white than a cold white. And although you can't tell, the trigger is gold, I think, and the other one isn't. But, with the knockoff, you can't remove any of this stuff. It'll break if you want to. But no, this one's compartmentalized. Now, I had dropped this and broke one of the fins, and I kind of sort of put it on haphazardly. But this is the surfboard, right? This is the official one. The official one, weirdly, is lighter in weight. But like you can see, there goes that fin. Whatever. In the original, it's supposed to be see-through. But here they painted it. But I mean, the details, I mean, as far as this goes, they definitely got it down as far as being pretty damn close. They still had see-through fins, but this one's like a more of a blue. But again, you're looking at the original is supposed to be see-through and the other one's painted. Right? They still had the same structure here on the back. Yeah, that little thing is to put her foot in. But the pegging system is different. Like in the official, the hole is pretty big. Pretty big hole for the this thing. And it's on there reasonably well. Versus this one's very loosey-goosey. And, well, like the plug is a little different. I guess it is big, but it's different. It's different. And it's a big ball of no me gusta. Crapola. Now, even in the face, I'm going to see if I can do this. It's hard to hold two figures at the same time here. So this is the same face. If I can, we'll do that. Let's see if this works. So, same face, right? Just done a little bit better in terms of paint and maybe even color. But let's look at the actual aesthetics. I'm going to get rid of this stupidity from her hand so you can see some of the problems. Now, I took this thing off, which is what I'm going to do again here. I don't particularly need it. Oh, shit. Trying to take this off. There we go. Let me go get her ears. It mechanizes in the same way. Okay. First issue. As you can see, very, very similar. You know what? Let's just change her face just so that we can. It looks kind of dumb to try to have them have different faces, and then you don't. Then it doesn't look the same. Okay. And doesn't fall off. That's right, I didn't have to fucking glue it. Okay, first thing, the shoulder. She had the knockoff has this horrible ridge that creates a huge gap at the shoulder. The original Figma does not. It's subdued, it's not huge. The necklaces, the little jewel is smaller, maybe even different designed. It's at a different angle. It's weird. Even in the chesticles, the Figma is larger, bustier, bigger. I think even the hips and legs might be too. Different. Okay, here we have the Boba Milk Tea Girl and Mafex Psylocke, and they match up extremely well. I mean, Psylocke's head obviously is a little too small, not very anime, but oh man, the snail shell matches up exceedingly well in terms of style. They could easily exist in the same universe, really. That's really spot on, and they do match up really well. I can't wait to do some photography with the both of them. That's awesome. But yeah, no complaints there. Let's see about somebody else. Be right back. All right, and here we have the Cerebus It's so difficult trying to. I can't remember where she's from, but she's a seamless anime character. And then we have good old fashioned Ultraman. Again, very well matches up, both of them. But obviously, if it was like really Ultraman, his foot would be like right here. Anyway, all right. One last thing I want to try to point out here is that I was a little bit wrong about the glasses down. They are see-through. This is the fake one. This is the real one. The real one is modular, so you can transfer the ears and the side panels over. This one, on the fake one, they're fixed. You could, I guess, remove the ears. I haven't tried, but you can. But I just wanted to point out that that is also yet another difference between the two. But interestingly enough, they are constructed the same way. So here we have both. And again, you could see that this is the fake one. It's very similar in terms of design. I mean, they all, they're both very good at. I'm just going to take that off. Oh, that's right. You can't. The fake one isn't modular. You can't remove that for some stupid reason. But again, incredibly similar, almost perfect. If it wasn't mostly for the terrible splotchy paint job on the fake one and the type of paint. So the type of paint on the fake one's kind of this grainy, sloppy silver, and the other one is just kind of a gunmetal perfection. Like, you get what you pay for sure. And the joints are so smooth. The other one, they kind of clunky and squeak. They squeak a lot. It just feels terrible. This feels professional. So that's another one of those differences.